Today I share my thoughts on becoming YouTube. If you're not aware, YouTuber Ben Cook has been doing this documentary on YouTube where he interviews a series of British YouTubers and they discuss topics concerning YouTube in general. It's been a while since the last episode, but it did indeed get quite the response, and so even though I really should have shared my opinions when the responses were fairly new, I figured for a VEDA subject, becoming YouTube was a good one. First, I'll state where I think becoming YouTube does well. First is the sketches. I think they're very funny, and I think that the people they get together to make them are talented and funny people themselves, and it is a good opportunity for sketch materials. Second is that on many of the subjects, the YouTubers that are interviewed have interesting things to say on the matter. That said, there is also a problem in this same category. My main problem with becoming YouTube is that it's, well, biased and has a very limited perspective. The first episode this became a problem for me wasn't the Women of YouTube video, but in fact the one on gatherings. Some of you may know that a while back I posted a video response to Carrie Fletcher's video on gatherings, which covered a similar topic concerning them, but basically I felt that the gatherings that they talk about aren't all gatherings. Throughout the episode, all the big popular British YouTubers talk about how the old gathering ways of a group of people hanging around in the park are gone. Those gatherings are no more. But they're not gone. They're very much still around. It's just that they, as the big popular YouTubers, can't really attend those gatherings very much, and if they try to, then more people show up because they're fans, and then becomes a hassle. But let's get into the controversial episode. I don't feel there's anything more I can say on the Women of YouTube episode that hasn't already been said. It's very much the same problem I have with the Gatherings episodes, a biased perspective. They're talking about the sides of YouTube they are exposed to most, and the parts of YouTube they are personally from. But they leave out people who do YouTube differently. People who aren't the big famous YouTubers, but are still popular or are enjoying the videos they make. They leave out these people. And of course there's the whole beauty guru dismissal. I can't say I've been exposed to many of them, but that's because I'm not really their target audience. But the fact is, this is a very good example of how the series is biased. They dismiss them as not really counting because they're not the portion of YouTube that they are thinking of. They discuss different topics, things that aren't interesting to them personally, but why is that a problem? And I don't think they ever stated it was, but because of the bias, it kind of came across that way. I think the best thing for me to do personally is to link to people who discuss this subject a bit better than I can. Really, I just wanted to have a topic to talk about on VEDA and to show what my stance is. Now, having said all this, I still think Becoming YouTube is an interesting series, and like I said, one of the best things about it is the sketches, which, you know, even the infamous Women of YouTube episode had some pretty funny sketches in it. I think the person whose perspective is closest to mine is Mickeleh. I will link to his video in the doobly-doo. His main point was that there's a very big portion of YouTube that they haven't covered yet, and that's what he describes as the middle. The people who aren't the big YouTubers, but aren't just audience. Well, that's all for now. See you around.